Five Out Basketball, five segments, five takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is Five Out Basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
Me and Everton, we've done a lot of segments for top 10 positions, and we're going to keep that tradition going as we are going to look at the shooting guards. Everton, not going to lie, I had to erase the list a couple times because I forgot about a player or two, but it's a list I'm confident in.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of the opposite, bro. Like,
Really?
the thing is, right? Shooting guard is such a weird position because one, I can't tell sometimes what position these dudes are. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, is he a point guard or is he a shooting guard? And then I'm like, wait, is he a small forward or is he a shooting guard? Like,
Mhm.
it was kind of rough with that. Like, I'm confident in the names on the list. The order might not be perfect, but
Yeah.
the names on the list, I'm like, okay. But the order is a bit And then the last thing I want to say, if anybody knows who Rusty Buckets is, a YouTuber, check out his shooting guard video. Cause
Okay.
the depth of the shooting guard, the position of it, because I ain't gonna lie, the shooting guard position is starting to become such a like awkward position. Because it's really
Mhm.
like either you're gonna have two point guards on the court, realistically, or a point guard and a wing who's playing the two. Like it's a shaky position now, but I'll let you
Yeah, no,
go ahead.
absolutely. Because I'm looking at my top 10, there's like 3 or 4 guys that should probably be a point guard. And then there's a
Mm-hmm.
guy here I know should be a small forward. And
Mm-hmm.
it's messy, it's fun. So here's our attempt at getting the top 10 shooting guards. You can interchange them on different lists, but these who are players I think are classified as shooting guards at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'll start it off. I will do my honorable mentions.
All right.
Yeah, honorable mentions. I had 3, and that's gonna be Klay Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
gonna be RJ Barrett, and it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
Austin Reeves. RJ Barrett, I tried really hard to get into the top 10 just because he's like looked so much different in Toronto. But the shooting
Mm-hmm.
guard position's a little deeper than I thought it was.
Yeah, the thing is like the top guys are the top guys and the rest of the guys kind of fall in line.
Yeah.
Um, but those guys didn't make my list either, so they'd be the same honor. Like Clay, RJ, Austin Reeves, they're all nice players and they're like fringe top 10.
Mm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I just
Who
we
else did
pissed off so many fan bases. Like, dude, LA Lakers fans will tell you
Lakers.
that Austin Reeves like approaching the top 5. Like,
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
and then another one I want to address because it wasn't an honorable mention, but I think we as an NBA fan base need to wake up. Cam Thomas is not a top 10 shooting guard, guys.
He wasn't even honorable mention
It
for
wasn't
me.
even honorable mention. I don't care if he's a bucket. He cannot do anything else on the NBA court. There's starting to be like there could be a conversation like 3 or 4 years from now that he could be what Jordan Poole is now.
Hmm. He can get a bucket. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
Cam can get a bucket,
no
but
question.
like after a certain point, it's like, what else are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, nothing.
So my honorable mentions were some of the names you had, like Clay, but I also had.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm joking. I had Bradley Beal. Um,
Whoa.
he's been good, but best ability is availability, bro. Like.
Yeah, that's real.
Now, some guys have kind of missed time too, but there was a point in the season where Bradley Beal had maybe two more games played than me and you. Like,
Yeah.
like it was bad. So he's been pretty solid in his role. Like he's a third option. He's doing his thing. I'm not like dissing him, but he kind of missed my list. Whatever. The other guy, it was a toss up between. Should I say this or am I gonna mess up the? Okay, so there's
You can
10
just
and then there's like 11.
go for it.
11, it was between Zach LaVine and Tyler Hero.
Okay.
So the thing with Zach LaVine, if we're talking about legacy, I guess, I would say Zach LaVine's been better than Tyler Hero. But in terms of this season, obviously Zach LaVine's had his injury struggles again, which is why I say best ability is availability. But when you look at his numbers compared to Tyler Hero's played better.
Mhm.
Not much I could say there, and he's been on the court more. So I'll let Tyler Hero have that 10 spot, and I'll just leave Zach LaVine as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
You're a Bulls fan. I'll just piss you off a
Yeah.
little bit if you felt that
Nope, you
way.
made me happy because Zach Levine's legacy is tarnished in my eyes, so that doesn't even exist. Zach Levine's maybe 24th on my list. Bum. Hate that guy. Such a disgrace to the sport. Yeah,
Oh.
you made me happy. That was music to my ears.
You know, it's funny. I was like, dang, I'm about to make him mad. He's like, oh, you didn't have Zach top 10? I forgot that you're not a big Zach guy anymore. So
No.
damn it. I missed an opportunity.
It's all good. Honorable mention just came to the top of my head. Terry Rozier, been fantastic this season.
Mm-hmm.
Rough
Mm-hmm.
start to Miami. Like he's like shooting like 15% from three. That's gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good 3-point shooter. But now let's
Mm.
get into it. At the 10th spot, I had Bradley Beal. He hasn't played a lot this season, but with his longevity of what he's done in Washington, I can't discredit him and take him out of the top 10 for that reason.
Yeah.
My 9, CJ McCollum, arguably one of the more underrated players in the NBA this season. And then my number 8, I can't read my handwriting. Give me a second, guys. It's embarrassing. Okay, DeJounte Murray,
DeJounte Murray. Okay.
who should be a point guard, but Atlanta
Yeah.
swung.
So I didn't have CJ because I low-key thought he was a point guard because that's what they had him as.
Uh-huh.
If CJ was considered, he'd be my 10.
Okay.
But hey, it is what it is. So
Mhm.
my 10, I said was Tyler Hero. I already got that off. Which
Yeah.
again, between him and Bradley Beal, you could kind of interchange depending on how you feel, but I'm gonna just roll with Tyler Hero. 9, I had Derek White.
I
And
knew I forgot somebody.
oh, you forgot
Uh,
Derek White.
Sorry to all my Celtics enjoyers. That's my fault. Just the shooting guard positions. It's impossible to figure it
It's
out.
exactly that's what I'm saying. So we can't really tell who's really a shooting guard. But yeah, 10 Tyler Hero, 9 Derek White, and 8 Anthony Simons.
Really, I mean, I think I don't give Anthony Simons a love. It's just the Timberwolves, the Trailblazers have just been bad this season. Anthony Simons just doesn't really have that much help around him. So like he is always the matchup teams are looking out for. So I don't think we've seen the truest of Anthony Simons because he's never going to be a number one guy, which is what he's
Mm,
playing now.
yeah.
I think if he gets to a different team, you start to see him creep up into this top 10 in my eyes, but it's just the shooting percentages aren't all the way there, and it's just he's being targeted. So I think there is a world where Anthony Simons could get into the top 10. I just don't see it just yet, just because of the role he's been put in.
Which is fair. Like I said, I wasn't confident in the bottom half. Honestly, Derek White could have been higher, but I put Derek White at 9 just because he doesn't put up the points like some of these other dudes, but he literally does everything else. Like
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
genuinely like the best role player in the league right now.
Mhm.
So I'm cool with Tyler Hero at 10. I'm cool with Derek White at 9, I guess. And Simons, like 22, 4, and 5 is none to slouch at,
No chance.
especially considering his circumstance. And I feel like in a better situation, with the Trailblazers, I think he could probably put up those same numbers on most teams with better efficiency.
Mhm.
So I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and he's a really good player. Like athleticism is there. He can shoot the ball. I'd like to see him do more as a playmaker, but again, when you play for the Trailblazers, maybe there's not a lot to pass to.
Yeah.
You have the best center in the league, DeAndre Ayton, but I'm joking. But still, like I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not mad if somebody leaves Anthony Simons off their top 10. Like I said, the shooting guard list is just kind of weird. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's gonna be players Everton don't include that are in my list. There's gonna be players in my list that were or that aren't in my list that were in Everton's list. Just
Yeah.
as Everton said, shooting guard position's messy. It's all over the place.
It is, bro.
And now I'm gonna list like 3 players that you could argue could be either a point guard or a small forward because this list is so much fun. At
Mm-hmm.
7, I have James Harden. At 6, I have Jalen Brown, and over him, I put Paul George. I didn't give Jalen Brown over the jump over Paul George yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So for anybody who doesn't know, I had James Harden as a point guard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, so he did not make this list just because of that. He would have made this list if it wasn't for that. But I had him as a point guard. Same with Jalen Brown. I had him as a small forward. So again, another mistake there. My bad. That's what I'm saying. The shooting guard position is just so awkward to me.
Mhm.
Like I really just can't get a number on who is a shooting guard or
Yeah.
a small forward. Because James Harden used to be a shooting guard, but now he plays the point guard.
Mm,
Jalen Brown used to be a shooting guard, and now he plays a three. Like it's all over the place, but
it is.
it
We
is
might
what
have
it
just spent
is.
a part of this video just like trying to figure out what a shooting guard is and like if it's
It,
just to be considered 2 guards in the future rather than a official shooting guard term.
exactly. So I'll just roll. I'll stop saying that. So just to cover, if there's a name you don't hear, it's probably because I consider them a different position. Just
Mm.
so people know. So at 7, I had DeJounte Murray. At 6, I had Desmond Bain. And at 5, what's wrong? Oh, you missed him too?
I hate this. This is the worst segment we've ever done. Oh my
Oh
God.
my goodness. And then at 5, I had Kyrie.
Wow, I had Kyrie a little higher. I'm gonna be honest, like I never thought I'd say this with Cleveland, but since Kyrie has came to Dallas, I genuinely think he might be the most underrated player in the league. Like
He
he's giving you
probably
like
is.
25, almost 6 assists, 5 rebounds, shooting crazy efficiency. It's just when you're with Luka, who's gonna talk about Kyrie Irving? And it's just I genuinely think come playoff time, we're gonna remember how good Kyrie is because I think Kyrie's a top 4 player in this position.
I'm not mad at that. The reason why I put some of these other guys over him, one, they've pretty much all played more than he has this year.
Yeah.
And then defensively, outside of I think all 4 of them are better defenders, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
what I think we're gonna almost have the same top 5.
yeah,
So I can
so
agree.
that's the reason why I give because they can all score at pretty much the same level as Kyrie
Hmm.
while being better defenders and being more available. Yeah. But
Yeah, but
Kyrie,
but the
deepest
aura in the
bag.
bag though.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say deepest bag or aura. I literally knew you were gonna say that. And hey, deepest bag for sure. But I gotta give them other dudes their flowers, bro.
Yeah, I understand. I can't hate too much. It's just I miss the days when like people were like arguing Kyrie is a top 10 player in Cleveland. That was just
Oh
that was a
man.
special time to be alive.
Nah, you know what a special time was?
What
Those
was it?
Kyrie John Wall debates, bro.
Ooh, that's freaky. That's freaky.
Yo, those back in the day, I keep
Yeah.
feeling that I'm showing my age with these type of things, but bro, those John Wall Kyrie debates, man, because they both wore two,
Yeah. The
man,
aura, man.
the aura, bro.
Yeah, no one had bet. I don't care about these rest of these guards. No one had a bag like them too. I don't
No,
care.
definitely not. Those,
That,
those
that that's
two
something I'll
guys are
stand on. Like,
different level of bag right there, bro.
yeah, but now into the top 4 because I think I have a take here. It's gonna be hot. I think it's gonna take a little bit of the debate.
Okay,
4, I have Kyrie.
okay.
3, I have Anthony Edwards.
Hmm.
And then number 1 and 2, I just think it's obviously between Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
But I think it's time to give Donovan Mitchell the flowers. I put him
Hmm.
at 1 over Devin Booker, which was
Oh,
before I get into Everton. I want to hear your top 4.
okay. 4, I had Anthony Edwards. 3, I had Paul George. 2, I had Donovan Mitchell, and 1, I had Devin Booker.
Yeah, there's a lot we got to decipher here.
Okay.
Firstly, Donovan Mitchell has the same scoring bag Devin Booker does. Like I know Devin Booker is considered the more prolific scorer. I think he's slightly better. I think they both can score in the paint. They can both score from the 3-point line, the mid range. It doesn't matter. They can score. They both
Hmm.
can move the ball. But I think Donovan Mitchell is so much of a better defender than Devin Booker is, which is what gave him the slight edge over Devin Booker. And Donovan Mitchell has still shown success in the past. Like when he was in Utah, they were getting number 1 seeds, and he was still cooking in the playoffs. Just no one else
True.
was there to help him. So I think they both still have the success, and they're both fantastically offensively. So like that's like what makes it almost a tie. But then when you
Hmm.
bring in the defensive factor, when everything's so close, that's what had Donovan Mitchell more prolific for me than Devin Booker and slotted him at number 1.
Which I'm not mad at. The thing for me with Devin Booker, when you look at his numbers and you consider he's playing with Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, that's what makes it impressive to me because it's like they're both putting up relatively the same scoring numbers, with D Book putting up even better passing numbers. Like I remember at one point this season, D Book was averaging a smooth 30 and 10 at one point. Like his passing is on another level. Like and then defensively, D Book's no slouch. Devin Book, I mean, yeah, D Book is no slouch. And then Donovan Mitchell, while he's probably a better defender, I don't think it's astronomical to the point where like it's like comparing, I don't know, Drew Holiday to like Steph Curry. Like it's not to that point where it's like bad defender, great defender. I think it's like solid defender, above average defender,
Mm.
So I feel like, I can't use defense crazily in this kind of conversation. And considering the teams they play for, with David putting up numbers like this with 2 other stars on his team, I just feel like it's even more impressive. And he's pretty much the number one guy. I mean, it's up to you if you think
Mm.
KD or D-Book's the number one guy. But
It's Devin Booker.
D-Book, thank you. Thank you. But Devin Booker being the number one guy on a
Mm.
championship team, well, on the Suns, is a
Yeah.
good look for him.
Yeah.
So
A
yeah,
number
that's
one
why I
team on
gave
a team
him
that might be in the play-in compared to a team which is currently the second in the East. And
true.
I know they don't have the stars like the Suns, but
Hmm.
Darius Garland and Evan Mobley have all-star potential. Jarrett Allen's taken a massive leap offensively. He can get you a bucket. And we've seen what Max Strus could do with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Oh my gosh, bro, that was
Gonna talk about that
insane.
later for a preview for our team breakdown. The
Yeah.
Mavericks. We have Max Strus, man. It's just okay. I'm gonna wait on that topic. I'm gonna talk about it literally for like 2 minutes. I'm gonna chill. Hold on. But I think Donovan Mitchell is just, I think he deserves a little more love for you defensively. I don't think he's a solid defender. Like, I remember when he was drafted out of Louisville, I was like, oh, this is the next great defender in the league. And he kept
Mm.
that defensive prowess while also happening to become one of the best offensive shooting guards in the league. So I just think that's the thing that sets it apart because they both have the success in the playoffs. Well, success, they both proven they can like be good in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell, I'm sorry, you played with Rudy Gobert and nobody else in Utah. I'm not going to hold that against you. They both could score anywhere on the court. Devin Booker's a better passer, but Donovan Mitchell also gets like 6.3 assists per game. He's no slouch when it comes to moving the rock.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're both efficient from the field. It's just when it's so tight, like it can be interchangeable. The defense was just the big deciding factor for me, just because like how close this is.
I'm not mad. Those are clearly the two best shooting guards in the league. At least we can agree on that. But yeah, I feel like it is a little bit interchangeable. It's kind of almost like a personal preference thing. And I do like not Donovan. I do like Devin Booker more as a player, just in general. So maybe that's what it was. But yeah.
And I have something about that which I need to talk about. Your list is I think the Adam Silver promotion worked on me because I was thinking about when he said out loud. I was like, should I really consider Anthony Edwards better than Paul George? So I think I was fooled because Paul George is better defensively. I still trust him more at the 3-point line, even though he's on a little bit of a slouch. And he has a history to go with it. Anthony Edwards does not have the history to go with it yet. So I honestly, this might be a first time in the history of the 5 Out podcast. I'm doing a live change on my list. I'm also putting Paul George over Anthony Edwards because that just makes more sense. So thank you
Yeah.
for that, Everton.
Yeah, because I saw when I said it, I saw your face and I'm like, ooh. I couldn't tell if you were saying like, what? You put Paul George over blah blah blah, but now it makes sense. Like you really were just like, maybe I tweaked here. And hey, that's fine. Like I
I'm not
think
afraid to admit I'm wrong.
and that's a great trait. Trust me on that. I think Anthony Edwards could pass PG within the next year or two. Like I don't think it's out of the cards for him to do that, but I feel like currently still I'm gonna go Paul George.
Yeah, I know. Like, I think when it comes to postseason time, I would still trust Paul George just because I think he's better defensively. I think he's better passing the ball, and he's still going to be able to get you a bucket. Anthony
Mm,
Edwards, he isn't going to overtake him eventually because Paul George is old.
yeah.
But it's just right now, I can't confidently say Anthony Edwards has taken that jump. Even though he got a haircut over the summer, bro. That aura he had heading into the season, we got to respect it, man.
Oh my goodness. And hey, if PG hears his theme song, it's PG at one.
Yeah,
So
no question.
let's just
Yeah,
cover that now.
yeah, what's Anthony Edwards' theme song? The Cardi B videos he was reacting to? Like,
No, he's talking about your.
you're
Oh my gosh, he was
hilarious.
man,
Yeah,
that was
but
crazy.
overall, the shooting guard list is a mess. It's gonna be all over the place just because we still don't know who a shooting guard is. Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out podcast. I am Joey LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.